So as I was saying, one of the things that this experience at the Beguiling showed me was that there's still some places where underground comics are still known and loved and still exist in kind of abundance. One box upstairs, three boxes downstairs, short boxes all, and a lot of stuff, I haven't seen before. So like I said, I couldn't resist, especially because the price was right. So we'll start with these here. Actually, we'll start with these because they, like I said, they also had some just boxes of comics from all sorts of publishers. They had a lot of mainstream back issues down there too, but then of course back tucked in a corner they had some more independent. They had a box with a small selection of Eclipse comics, for example. Not much in there that I didn't already have, and from other companies as well. And one of the things that they did have for a really, really good price, because when I'm missing a few more issues from Star Reach. I think I'm missing just 2 more issues now after finding these 2, and it seems like these 4 specifically, every time I do see them, which is pretty rare, they go for bigger money, and I just don't want to pay that. I love the series. I think it's a lot of fun, and the art is really great, and especially historically, I think this is a very important comic, kind of bridging that gap from the underground to a little more mainstream. I do feel like this is a pretty important part of that history, but they're just always just out of my range where I just don't want to buy them. So I think this is a Frank Brunner cover. Yes, it is. This is issue number 10 of Star Reach there. There we go. So really, really cool cover there. Again, some amazing interior art by a variety of artists. A lot of the really quality stuff has been reprinted in that Star Reach Classics that I've shown off before. If you ever see Star Reach Classics, it's really worth your time because you'll kind of get the best of the best out of these comics. So that's great. And then this one is issue number 13. So there's that wraparound cover there. And this one actually has a color section. I believe in one of the other ones, or was it Imagine? I don't remember. It had a Ditko color section in it. What else do we got here? We go. And there we go. It's a fun book just for the mix of artists that you get, and that kind of psychedelic sense of the undergrounds that kind of exist in there. So some of the odd sized ones that didn't fit any the bags and boards that I have, so they're just sitting loose. The other good thing about the undergrounds, I guess, is just every single issue is a different size. So Ripoff Press presents Underground Classics. This is issue number 5 of that series, and this is some Wonder Warthog Volume 1. So Earl Grey, if you're watching, here's your Wonder Warthog. And a collection. I haven't really sat and looked through these yet, so I don't know. I kind of got back to work and was thrown right into it as far as this week has been going. It's been intense, to say the least. But there you go. There's a look at classic Wonder Warthog. All new underground comics. I think this might have been a double. The thing with these undergrounds is there's not a lot of them listed in the CLZ app. Actually, most of them aren't listed in the CLZ app. So I don't always remember if I'm missing an issue, because a lot of these covers I've seen so many times, because even to this day I still do kind of eBay sweeps of, are there any cheap underground comic lots, and there aren't anymore. It feels like I hit the last big one, that huge box. There's video, I don't know, a year and a half ago or something, where I got all those books for kind of, it averaged around $2 a piece, $2.50 a piece, from stuff that was rescued, and they're all amazing. But now when I see lots, it's kind of, a lot of 10 for $50 or even, you know, $100, that kind of thing. So it may have been that I've just seen this cover multiple times. But this series, All New Underground Comics, this was the series where Rick Veitch had his first appearance in one of these issues. I don't remember the issue number of it off the top of my head, though. And this was, you know, the chance for, this was almost the kind of image idea of, let's give someone an issue and see what they do with it, and we'll put it under this umbrella of All New Underground Comics. I think now I have that run of that series. I think there was 5 or 6, 5 maybe. Rip-Off Press, one that I've never seen before, by Hunt Emerson, Mind-Snapping Action, Madcap Laughs, Thunder Dogs, from Rip-Off Press. So that's another wraparound cover. And again, with a cover like that, how can you go wrong? There's a look at the interiors here. That's always so weird. There we go. Doing these where I'm almost seeing a mirror image of myself. I can't, these ones were a couple of dollars more for sure, but I cannot pass these up. The man himself, S. Clay Wilson, Checkered Demon, and these are very odd size, so that's not even held this way. It's not the size of a regular comic, but you also hold it sideways. So there's that entire cover there. Had the good fortune to talk to Wilson's wife on Twitter a number of times, kind of messaging back and forth, and she was talking about, oh, people still know his, people still know his comics? I'm like, are you fucking kidding? The guy's an absolute legend. Of course people still know his comics. Of course there's still people out there who love his comics. And she's like, oh my God, that is so great, so nice. And I talked to her about kind of this sketchbook spots, I think, that I have of his. And she said that she would be sure to tell him that there's still a few of us weirdos out here. And then this is kind of a collection of single page art from S. Clay Wilson as well. Again, kind of all landscape, laid out in landscape fashion. There you go, classic smut from the man himself. Violence, just insane, but a hell of an artist. Like, really, really incredible style. Amazing stuff. So those were really nice finds. And then in the kind of avenue of the more unusual artists, Geisel, is that right? I can't remember his first name. Oh boy. I mean, I like the look of the image, for sure, but holy smokes, this lighting just doesn't make it, yeah, it just says Geisel. I can't remember his first name. This is called Pain Comics. 50 copies have been signed and numbered in the blood of the artist and are available, check payable, to Dave Geyser. Oh, so not Geisel, Geyser. And this is one that I've seen many, many times online, and it's always intrigued me. That cover is out of control. It's so incredible. The lettering on Pain, that fleshy kind of look to it, is just insane. And it's also one of those books that not only is the art just batshit crazy on the outside, but it's just as fucking mental on the inside. There really seems to be kind of an early graffiti caricature style to this art, especially the way the characters are kind of outlined in this, right over here, in this bold, with this bold line. Man, I'm so glad I found this, because this is, like I said, this is one that's jumped out at me many times on my searches online, and I've always wanted to see this book in person. I'm so glad that they had a copy of this one. A hell of a book, man. A hell of a book. And this is Geyser as well. Demented Pervert Comics. The style, you can see similarities for sure. It's maybe not as out there as that Pain book. He's one of those artists that even on Comics Joint, he's one of those guys that you either love or hate. This looks like to be an anthology with a few artists, though, or a collection with a few artists, because that doesn't seem like him. Although those pages do. Yeah, these ones do for sure. Hi, folks. Bobby Boylesucker here. There you go. So I don't know, again, I don't know too much about him, so I don't know kind of the scope of his career, where this would fit, but to me this looks like it would be earlier work for sure. And maybe peaked at Pain. Another one that I don't know if it's because I've seen the cover so many times or if I do actually have it in the collection, but I could not pass it because this has always been a cover that I've loved. This is New Paltz Comics #3, Iron Soul Stories. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Cover of the century for underground comics. Incredible. Really just amazing. And this is an anthology as well. And on the back, who do we have? Michael Gilbert on the back cover. And then just like I said, a real thick one too. And here's something that really jumped out at me. Produced by Jeff Boinevert and the Progressive Art Studios. Copyright 1977. Something called Rot. When I was flipping through this one, this is the story that really jumped out at me. This art is really interesting looking. Let's go to another full pages there. There you go. Fantastic looking stuff. I'm going to pause it there, and then we're going to come back. I'll probably edit this video together to make one longer one. I'll be right back.